Focused and fearless, here's everything you need to know this rush hour of August 13, Tuesday. I'm Riza Diaz. We start off today's rush with reports of a supposed ISIS terror threat in northern Luzon. Now, while authorities are still verifying the report, the public is advised to take caution in going about their daily routines. Justin Punsalang has the report.
Tourists and devotees of Manaoag Church in Pangasinan are now heavily guarded by the police. The authorities are watching out for possible attacks from ISIS extremists. A memorandum from the Northern Luzon Command earlier warned of attacks by ISIS. The authorities say these attacks are meant to stir up a religious war between Muslims and Catholics. The authorities say Lawag Ilocos Norte, Vigan Ilocos Sur, and Tuguegarao in Cagayan are under the ISIS radar.
Nagpa-augment po tayo ng mga kakailangan nating ibang tropa. Meron po tayong mga tropa na binigay sa atin, galing po sa provincial office, yung one team po ng SWAT saka K9.
So far, the police say everything is normal in the mentioned areas.
Hindi naman kasi may assurance naman na may nakikita naman kami na mga sundalo sa paligid. At actually, sinerge nga namin to kasi nanigurado rin kami, nakakabalita kami kahapon na meron nga daw red alert dito.
On Sunday, 2 Muslim leaders volunteered to guard the entrance of the Baguio Cathedral during Mass. They said they wanted to help maintain peace between the Muslims and Christians in the city. Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara already ordered the National Bureau of Investigation to monitor any security threat in the northern Luzon. He said he expects the Bureau to submit a report on the ISIS threat by the end of the month. For News 5, Justine Punsalang, we are One News.
The Interior Department is worried over the alleged recruitment of college students by communist rebels. Now, because of this, DILG Secretary Ed Año proposes the revival of the anti-subversion law, which makes it legal or illegal to join left-leaning groups. Lindo Flora has the story.
Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año says he believes in academic freedom, but he is much concerned about the aggressive recruitment of students in colleges and universities by some leftist groups. In an interview with Ka Orly Mercado on 1PH and Radio 5, Año said academic freedom comes with certain responsibilities.
Maganda naman sana yung kanyang
intention,
activities, no? Para matuto yung ating mga kabataan, malaman yung ating lipunan. Pero kapag karamihan ay napupunta na sa bundok at nakipaglaban na sa pamahalaan at nag-join sa NPA, ay hindi na magandang usapan yan. Sabi nila parang nadugo-dugo ka, bigla na nagbago, bigla nag-iba yung pagsagot, at biglang lumayas na.
A former Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Año said he is in favor of reviving the anti-subversion law and Human Security Act.
Kaya nga, sana nga gusto rin natin magkaroon ng enactment, no? Yung Human Security Act, ma-amend natin, o kaya maibalik yung anti-subversion law para ma-define po natin para mga organisasyon ang ipinagbabawal at malaman ng mga estudyante na ito ang hindi mga dapat ng sasabihan.
But for the Kabataan Party List, the issue on recruitment by leftist groups is just being used to push for martial rule.
Lantad na yung hidden agenda na ibalik yung martial law sa mga schools, dagdagan yung police at military presence.
Elago says the Makabayan Bloc will oppose moves that will deter the exercise of the youth's academic freedom.
Yung pagbabalik ng anti-subversion law at parang throwback sa martial law na ang gusto pa ay hayaan ng malayang makapasok yung police at military sa mga eskwelahan.
Elago said her group has plans of organizing a dialogue between parents and their strange children who join leftist groups. The youth representative maintains that there's nothing wrong with legitimate organized groups recruiting students. For News 5, Lindo Flora, we are One News.
Several areas in northern and central Luzon have declared class suspensions today due to bad weather. Classes in all levels are suspended in the towns of Itogon and Tablay in Benguet. Same goes for Masantol, Pampanga and select barangays in Macabebe, Pampanga. These include Candelaria, San Gabriel, San Juan, Saplad David, Santa Rita, Santa Maria, Santo Niño, and Telaksan. Now, the rest of Benguet have suspended classes in preschool to senior high school, while Barangay Duang Tete in Macabebe, Pampanga have no classes in preschool to elementary only. Now, the southwest monsoon or habagat is currently drenching parts of Luzon. To give us the latest on the weather, we have with us on the line Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Benny, good morning.
Good morning, Riza, and to all our viewers.
Benny would like to know the rain that we are experiencing also in the parts of northern Luzon. Is this the effect of the habagat?
Yes, definitely. This is the effect of habagat over the regions in Ilocos as well as Cordillera and over the provinces of Zambales and Bataan.
Benny, yesterday was, fairly better for Metro Manila, but are we expecting rain soon?
Over Metro Manila, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, and there are some chances of localized thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon or evening.
Looking into Visayas, also in Mindanao, how is the weather going to look like?
Based on our satellite animation over Visayas and Mindanao, they will continue to experience fair weather or warm, sunny days, and then at some point there will be some localized thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon.
I know we're also looking into Crossa. Is Crossa expected to enter Philippine area of responsibility?
Based on its movement, tropical storm Crossa will not enter our PAR, and it is expected to move towards the southern islands of Japan.
Other than Crossa, are there other weather disturbances, Benny, that we are looking into?
Based on our satellite animation, we're not seeing any cloud clusters that may form into a low-pressure area or tropical cyclone in the next 3 days.
All right, thank you very much. That's Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Meanwhile, here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Filipino Star Ngayon reports lawmakers are looking into reports of an impending increase in ATM transaction fees by as much as 50%. This follows the move by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to lift the ban on additional increase in bank fees. If the proposal to hike ATM fees pushes through, card holders may see a 20 to 30 peso charge in their withdrawal transactions and a 2 peso charge per balance inquiry. The Alliance of Concerned Teachers is now urging the government to investigate the latest findings by the Commission on Audit, flagging over 113 million pesos worth of undistributed books purchased and left to rot at a warehouse by the DepEd. The teachers group tells Pangmasa that someone must be held accountable for the irregularity. The local authorities in Cordova, Cebu are now offering a 20,000 peso reward for information that could lead to the crackdown of cybersex operations in the town. The Freeman reports the ordinance was passed a month after the arrest of a 25-year-old mother who admitted to abusing her daughters sexually online in exchange for money. Now, other cases of child pornography and sex trafficking have been reported within Cordova over the past years. Hospitals are already running out of equipment to treat the growing number of dengue patients. And now they have started using old water bottles as makeshift oxygen hoods just to get by. Ria Fernandez with the story.
It's been 3 days since baby Camille was rushed to Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial District Hospital in Calamba, Laguna. And since then, this makeshift oxygen hood made out of a water bottle has been helping her breathe. The baby's mother, Celestina, was skeptical with the idea of using the instrument on her newborn daughter, but she eventually agreed.
Nakalagay po siya sa waiver na pinirmahan namin na in case nga po na may mangyari, hindi nila sagutin.
This is also the case for other infants in the hospital. According to Dr. Arnold Cruz of the hospital's pediatrics, they resorted to old water bottles as they ran out of oxygen hood due to increased number of patients in the hospital. Categorized as a primary infirmary, the Dr. Jose P. Rizal Memorial District Hospital only has a 100-bed capacity for residents of San Pedro up to the municipality of Bay. But as of the moment, it has exceeded its limit.
We have to make do what we have. Then, yun na po. Sinasabi naman po namin na hindi po available yung ganito pong gamit. Ito po yung pwede nating ipalit kung pumapayag po kayo. Mapayag naman po sila.
Nevertheless, Dr. Cruz guarantees that water bottles as alternative breathing apparatuses are safe to use.
Actually, ma'am, hindi po ngayon lang yan. Nag-training po ako was 2000 pa. No? Meron na po kaming ginagamit noon. So ngayon po, nandito po tayo sa government hospitals, di natin po masabi yung pasok po ng pasyente. Meron pong, katulad po ngayon, bugso po, no? Marami tayo, dengue.
In a text message, Laguna Governor Ramil Hernandez says he has called for a meeting tomorrow with the hospital officials to fix the problem with stock. But he already ordered those in charge in the supply to look for reusable oxygen hoods instead of the disposable ones to avoid another stock out. The Department of Health has declared dengue as a national epidemic last week. More than 600 deaths have been recorded thus far. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
The increasingly restive protests have plunged Hong Kong into its most serious political crisis in decades, posing a challenge to the central government in Beijing. It has threatened the economy and daily life of one of the world's most populated cities. It's affecting not just residents but also visitors coming in and out of Hong Kong, many of whom remain stranded in the city airport after the cancellation of almost 200 flights. But tourists are not keen on blaming the demonstrators, whom they describe as, quote, very nice. Instead, they share frustrations over the lack of information provided by the airlines regarding changes in their flights.
Hindi naman ina-expect na papasok sila agad eh. Okay naman kasi behave naman sila nung nag-rally, di ba? Mabait na sila eh. Kahit ganun, hindi sila nakakalakad-lakad kaya hindi sila naman nananakit. Basta yun lang, na-cancel lang itong flight. Pero makakauwi naman siguro na kami bukas.
Now, speaking of cancellations, Cathay Pacific has canceled some of its flights to and from Manila to Hong Kong today. Now, the flight and numbers are displayed on your screen. Now, as of the moment, Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific have yet to announce flight cancellations today. Meanwhile, here are the stories to watch out for later today. Pump prices are going down. Price of diesel will be slashed by 1 peso and 10 centavos per liter, while gasoline prices will have a 50 centavo per liter rollback. Companies carrying kerosene will lower their prices by 1 peso and 30 centavos per liter. Secretary Manny Piñol will formally pass on the leadership at the Agriculture Department to returning Secretary William Dar. And the PSL All-Filipino Conference heads to Malolos, Bulacan for the last day of the elimination round. At 4:15, the Photon Tornadoes will take on the Marinerang Pilipina Lady Spikers or Skippers. Now at Game 2, the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers will take on the Signal HD Spikers. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.
Thank you.